Hold on to your fanny packs, folks, because America's not the carefree vacation land it used to be, at least according to our friends across the pond. We're talking about those travel advisories, those little yellow boxes popping up on government websites like unwanted pop-up ads. Except these ones aren't trying to sell you anything. Well, except maybe a little bit of caution. Seems like Europe's got some serious concerns about sending their citizens to the land of the free. And it's not just about our questionable reality TV shows. We're talking about an uptick in detentions at the border, even for those folks who ticked all the boxes, got their visas, and packed their bags full of good intentions. Germany, the UK, even Canada, they're all waving a cautious hand, urging their citizens to think twice, pack their patience, and maybe brush up on their legal rights before booking that flight. It's enough to make you wonder, what in the name of Uncle Sam is going on over there? Remember Trump? That guy with the hair and the tweets that used to break the internet? Turns out some of those tweets weren't just late-night rants, but actual policy proposals. We're talking about immigration, that hot potato that's been tossed around the political field for decades. Trump, in his infinite wisdom, decided to grab that potato, crank up the heat, and serve it with a side of America first. The result? A crackdown on immigration, the likes of which haven't been seen in decades. We're talking deportations, family separations, and a whole lot of confusion about who's in and who's out. The zero-tolerance policy, the Muslim travel ban, the wall. Remember all that? Well, it turns out those weren't just campaign promises, but the building blocks of an immigration policy that's got everyone from legal scholars to your average Joe scratching their heads. Here's the kicker, folks. This whole immigration crackdown isn't just affecting those trying to sneak across borders in the dead of night. Oh no, it's trickled down to the average tourist, the folks who just want to see the Grand Canyon, take a selfie with Mickey Mouse, and maybe indulge in a little too much American-sized fast food. We're talking about people like you and me, folks, who suddenly find themselves facing a whole new level of scrutiny at the border. Remember Jasmine Mooney? Canadian citizen. All-around nice person, just wanted to visit a friend. Next thing you know, she's detained for 12 days at the US-Mexico border. And why? Nobody seems to know. Then there's that French researcher denied entry because he dared to criticize the Trump administration on his phone. Looks like freedom of speech has its limits, at least when it comes to entering the land of the free. Section 4. Don't get caught off guard. Essential tips for US-bound travelers. So, what's a traveler to do in this brave new world of heightened border security and unpredictable immigration policies? First off, don't panic. America's still open for business, but a little preparation goes a long way. Think of it as packing your common sense alongside your swimsuit and sunscreen. Double-check those documents, folks. Passport up to date? Visa in order? Got that return ticket handy? Good. Now, be prepared to answer some tough questions. Where are you going? Why? Who are you meeting? And for the love of all that is holy, keep your social media opinions to yourself, at least until you're safely through customs. Section 5. Beyond the headlines, the human cost of harsh immigration policies. But here's the thing, folks. This isn't just about inconvenienced tourists and missed vacation days. We're talking about real people's lives being turned upside down, families separated, dreams shattered, all in the name of border security. It's easy to get caught up in the headlines, the political back and forth, but we can't forget about the human cost of these policies. The stories are heartbreaking. Parents deported without their children, asylum seekers locked up in detention centers, living in fear and uncertainty. It's a humanitarian crisis unfolding right on our doorstep, and we can't afford to look away. Section 6. The ripple effect. From tourism to trade, the fallout begins. And it's not just about human cost either. Turns out this whole immigration crackdown is having some unintended consequences, and they're not pretty. Remember how America used to be the #1 tourist destination? Well, those days might be numbered. Travel advisories from Europe, coupled with a growing sense of unease about America's political climate, are taking their toll. Tourism is down, businesses are hurting, and the economy is feeling the pinch. And that's not even mentioning the potential trade wars brewing on the horizon. Turns out when you build walls, whether they're real or metaphorical, you end up isolating yourself, and that's never good for business. Section 7. A world divided, navigating uncertainty in a time of geopolitical shift. So, where do we go from here? It's a tough question, folks, one that doesn't have an easy answer. The world's a complicated place, and America's place in it seems to be shifting. We're no longer the undisputed leader, the shining beacon on the hill. We're just another player in a global game, and the rules are changing. What does this mean for travelers, for businesses, for everyday people just trying to live their lives? It means we need to be informed, we need to be aware, and we need to be prepared for a future that's more uncertain than ever. It's a time for dialogue, for understanding, and for finding common ground. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together, whether we like it or not.